Hey, what it do with the business is?
It is another week in the books with the OndeckTV podcast. I am Spike Lou.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal_Brown if you're looking for me on social media.
And I am Spike Lou on the same social sites. Holla at your boy out here in these social streets. Back out in these streets, man. I seen you going to the United game.
Who game?
United game, man. Seen you in a 20,000 strong waving the flags out here.
Absolutely not. I will be in the movies this weekend, though, but not in the United game.
I think that I'm coming. I might have to go and check out that Silent Place 2 in the movies this weekend. Small theater, right up the street. I ain't going to go to the big dog shit, but I'm going to go right up the street and check that out.
At Quiet Place, I'm in that motherfucker.
They shuck me. They ain't put that on HBO Max or something. They gotta drop that on HBO Max, Netflix, Paramount, something.
That's theater shit right there, though.
They trying to get everybody back out. I feel for it. They got me.
Yeah,
they got me. It's cool. It's cool. Might as well go into a Hawks playoff game now.
Man, wait till you see them ticket prices, nigga.
I heard.
Max season. I already looked.
They ain't even worth it. They ain't worth it at all.
Hey, man, what is worth it is this episode. Got a fire episode coming up, man. We talk Mulatto with the name change. We talk about which rappers getting their own TV show and which rappers should get a TV show. And then we jump in a time machine and revisit 2006. Fun fact, when we started our revisiting episodes, we only used to go back 20 years. Mm-hmm. So our 2016 episode only went back to 96. We didn't do an 06 version. So we thought it'd be dope to go back and do a 15-year throwback to 06 this year. Hope y'all caught that math right there. But first things first, we have a new Verzuz announcement. Yo boy, Shad Moss and DeAndre Way, a.k.a. Bow Wow and Soulja Boy, will be up next month in the June Verzuz battle. My question is, Bow Wow versus Soulja Boy, the Verzuz we needed that we didn't know we needed?
Absolutely, man. These guys are entertainers. They've been doing it their whole life. We've been watching Verzuz since we've been stuck in the quarantine. We know what this is about. It ain't just the songs that you roll out. It's all about the vibe you set. It's all about what you do when you're on that Verzuz stage, a la Gucci Man, a la Jada Kiss, all of those people that made a name. Well, not made a name for themselves, but made a ruckus doing the Verzuz. Soulja Boy is the perfect person for this. Shad Moss is the perfect person for this, again, because they've been entertainers their whole life. And these are two, as I put in the group chats, of the best niggas at niggering that there has ever been. Soulja Boy and Bow Wow, the level of admiration that these guys have for themselves, not each other, but for themselves, it should play out on the screen beautifully. I'm not necessarily here for the Soulja Boy Bow Wow music battle, but the personality battle that'll happen in this Verzuz is going to be A1.
Yeah, this is must-see TV for all those same reasons. I could give a shit about the songs. They got, to be fair, they both were teenage artists that did have big records. Like, I ain't gonna play them like that, but I'm not really interested in either one of the artists. However, they're two of the most delusional rappers of all time. Thanks. And for that reason, there's no way in hell I'm not watching this dude. Like, number one, I went to the, way back in 2019 when people actually went to concerts and shit. I went to the So Def show, and you couldn't tell Bow Wow he wasn't the greatest rapper of all time. Like, this nigga was on stage, and like he was performing fucking Reasonable Doubt, nigga, or some classic shit, and he's doing Fresh As I'm Is, nigga. You can't tell him he wasn't doing a fucking 5-mic album. He thinks he's fucking amazing. Soulja Boy thinks that he literally created the internet and everything that's happened since then. So with that being said, with those two big personalities, this shit should be very interesting. I hope they put on a good show and don't do a lot of over talking or trying too hard. Don't do none of that. Just do what you normally do, and just give us viral moments, because it's going to be at least 2 or 3.
I'm here for the over talking. I'm here for the downplaying of each other that I know will happen. This is going to be great interneting right here. And it's like, again, it's not for the songs. I ain't here for the Soulja Boy tell him and the Bow Wow thank yous. That ain't what we tuning in for, but I'm definitely tuning in. This is a clash of the titans when it comes to personalities. Dude. I can't wait to see it. Big Draco, let's go.
Now this is gonna be funny. realistically, musically, a 10 for 10 probably would have been a little bit more palatable.
Yeah.
20 deep for Soulja Boy and
Bow Wow got 20 songs.
Hell no. That's what
Bow
I'm
Wow
saying.
Bow Wow ain't got 20 songs.
He got 10. He might have 10 though. He
might have 10 strong was counting features and everything, but Bow Wow ain't got 20.
Nah. So we're gonna hear some bullshit.
And he ain't got nothing for Soulja Boy hits. Like if we talking about Soulja Boy hits, Bow Wow ain't got nothing for like Soulja Boy.
It's like 3.
That's a big 3. If you ain't you struggling to get to 20, nigga, 3 is big. That's a big deal, nigga.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. All right, moving on. We stretched it out as much as we could. Shout out to Soulja Boy and Bow Wow. Next, we got my guy Kodak Black. He just released a new project over the weekend. A project sold an astounding, wait for it, 22,000. Kodak Black was outraged. He went to going at people on his social media. When I say people, I mean the record labels, I mean the streaming sites. He said it doesn't matter that he dropped with J. Cole. It doesn't matter that he dropped with a Nicki Minaj re-release. He usually puts 100,000 on the board when he drops, and he think that there is something amiss. My question to you, is it over for Kodak Black?
This is the beginning of the end of Kodak Black. The name of the project, because no one in here heard it or even is familiar with what it's called. It's called Haitian Boy Kodak. Now, to be fair, I'm going to shoot him some bail first before I put the nail in his career coffin. It is only 8 songs on the project. Mm-hmm. So in this day and age of streaming, with people dropping 20 pieces so they can get their streams up, they dropping deluxe editions with 25 records so they can get their streams up. Dropping 8, you're not going to do 100,000 with 8 songs unless you're Drake. Like, it's just not going to happen. So I'll give him that. However, he's been acting strange ever since he was pardoned by Trump. A lot of people thought he was a clone when he came out and was in the club.
What do you mean acting strange?
No, because he's taken every opportunity to shout out Trump. In strange ways, kind of similar to how Kanye was doing it, but Kodak doesn't have the resume that Kanye has, so it's like it just looks that much worse. And plus, he doesn't have any hit records, no bangers out right now. Like Kodak used to keep a song out, you know what I mean? Like he used to keep a couple of joints, the Lock Jaws or a feature or something of that nature. There's no records out right now that nobody's checking for Kodak. So it's a mixture of it being a short project and the music not being good. I listen to it as trash. You know what I'm saying? It's just, bro, like, he can't blame the push, the marketing, the climate, dropping on. And he said he was on the same caliber of Cole and Nicki, so he should do their same numbers. That let me know everything I need to know, bro. It's a wrap.
His beef is he's not being promoted. He's not being put on the playlist. He's not being spotlight like the other artists. You said Cole, Nicki, and he feels like that he's on that caliber. And that he may have had a beef before all of the prison stuff, before the allegations with the young lady, even though they've been dropped, I think, before the pardon with Donald Trump. Like Kodak Black, like you said, he kept a banger. He made good music, and that's the thing that's lacking here. Ain't no Lockjaw. It ain't no. There is no hit. Like there is no. What was it? What did Cardi steal? Bodak Yellow. Whatever the name of his original song was. That ain't there anymore. And what Kodak Black thought he was going to be able to do, in my opinion, is just ride out the wave of the shenanigans, the jail stuff, the beef stuff that he's in every now and then, and think that people are going to continue to stick around. But it's a new age, man. Like even from the time that he dropped and was doing those type of numbers, this is a brand new age that we live on. You got to put out quality product, bro. People ain't playing no more as far as, oh, I'm following you because you're famous. Like it's still a facet of people that do that, but you got to put out good quality shit because it's too much good quality shit out there, and he just ain't doing that. If you want to be on the same level as a Nicki Minaj and Nicole, you want to sell 100,000, not only do you got to cut out all the shenanigans on the side, you got to put out better music, bro. Then you start talking to the labels and the other people about not promoting you, but you first and foremost have to put out better music.
His heyday was 2017. He was featured on the A Boogie with the Hoodie. He had the Tunnel Vision joint that was big on the radio. His last joint in 2018 with Travis Scott with the little ZZ, where he had the little dance, the little shimmy. Okay, cool. That was cool. You were putting records that were shareable, that were, you know, big on social media. But bro, it ain't nothing on here though. I'm talking about it ain't nothing.
It ain't over though. I want to be clear. He's too talented for it to be over. Like, he's still going to have another wave. He can put out another hit. I just don't think he focused on the right shit right now. Like, that Trump shit is real. That shit following you. Like, people ain't fucking with you because of that, man.
Yeah.
Like,
it look weird when he doubles and triples down. It looks weird.
Leave it alone. Like,
that's all I'm saying.
Old enough to leave all of this shit alone, like the going back and forth with niggas on the internet, the calling out the streaming sites. Yeah. Once he's old enough to leave that shit alone, he's talented enough to be back in the limelight. He just ain't putting it. He ain't right now though. He ain't.
How long have we been saying that though?
I mean, he just got out of jail. Give him a year or two, man. Damn, he a kid. How old is Kodak Black? Like 25? Maybe.
He ain't be no older than that.
Yeah, he might be 25. He finna do damage. I still got faith in him. This is over right now.
That no flocking is not walking through that studio. That no flocking Kodak is not walking through that studio door, guys.
He got another no flocking in him.
23.
I promise you, he got another no flocking in him. A couple of them.
And we'll see.
Moving on to another young superstar from the South, yo girl, Big Lotto.
You gonna take my question? That's what we're gonna
I thought I was reading that.
No, sir.
Well, go ahead.
Let me get this.
I was bodying that too, by the way.
This is my girl. She's growing on me. Big Lotto, Mulatto, a.k.a. Lotto, no longer Mulatto, made the name change official, dropped a record addressing the name change, saying, I didn't let y'all get to me. Y'all didn't pressure me. I did this because I was hard-headed when I first came out. I understand it's an issue now, so I'm being a bigger person, and I'm changing the name to Lotto. The internet said, dude, Lotto is just short for mulatto, so it's really the same thing. So she's already catching flack for that. My question, and we talked about this before, did we think it was a big deal that she should change the name? My question, now that the name has changed and it is still somewhat similar remnants of the original name, did she make the right move?
Yes, she made the right move, but she made the move too late. Now it's all about the name. Like, if you had just changed it, kept it moving, she puts out, like we were just talking about with Kodak Black, her music is good enough. Like, her presence is good enough right now where she can make that little bitty change, keep it moving, not be a focus on it, and that be done with it. Like, putting the press statements out, going back and forth with people on the internet about, oh, what it really does mean. People writing think pieces about the old name. Like, bro, this shouldn't be a focus. It's becoming more of a focus on her career than it should be, and that's slowing her down. As opposed to when you Googling Mulatto and you seeing her hits, you seeing all this bullshit about her name. So she probably was hard-headed in the beginning, like she said. Now she's making much ado about it, and it's just not shining the light on what should be shined on, and that's her music.
Yeah, I agree. And listen, we know the rumors where she's going to change it to Big Lotto. Now it's just Lotto. Look, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I think she made the right move doing it. She's still very young, bro. She's 22 years old. She was born in 1998. I remember 1998 vividly.
You were like 20 years old then.
I was a young buck then, very young. But no, like, she's still very young. She's still kind of getting how this rap game works. And she sat out. She's been low-key these last couple months. You haven't really heard much from Lotto these last couple of months. So I think she's been plotting this return. I thought the record was fire, though. Like, I listened to it. I checked it out. She was ripping that shit. She can really rap, though. She chooses to go the sex kitten route because sex sells and she's attractive, so I get it. But she can really rap when it come down to it. But you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. People complain, and people was in the comments like, oh, but that's still, if somebody asks you what it means, you're going to have to say it's short for mulatto, and so it's still, so I don't know what they were expecting her to do, change her name to what, fucking Jane Doe? Like, I don't know, what were you thinking she was going to do, bro? So people just got to relax a little bit, and I think she made the right play, and hopefully it's behind it, because I know she's tired of that shit.
You don't think she could have did a full name change? Like, did a whole marketing thing behind changing.
That's hard to do, man.
Completely different.
That's hard to do, dude. You don't see that too often. G Herbo, when he changed his name from Lil Herb, that's about it.
Prince did it. Prince definitely did it.
Listen,
Rose
she get on
tried.
Prince
Rick
level, she
Ross
can do it.
tried to.
Who?
All you got to do is keep saying it in your ad libs.
That's true. She says Big Lotto on her ad libs.
I think she could have changed the Big Lotto just by doing the ad lib thing and never put anything out about it and just kept it smoking.
Yeah, Ross definitely was getting ready to change this shit to Rose.
Yeah,
That's a
definitely.
fact. And he did it he almost did it flawlessly.
Yeah.
That would have went. He would have transitioned right into Rose. And niggas
that nigga could have taught her a class on that shit. Like, niggas, hey, you want to change your name? Here you go.
All right. Mulatto coming up, though. I believe in her. I think she's talented as hell, bro. Like, for real. I think she got it.
You're out on Mulatto, but you're in on Kodak. But I mean, excuse me, you're out on Kodak Black, but in on Mulatto. How's that possible?
Correction. I'm way out on Kodak Black, and I'm way in Mulatto.
Pause. But I don't guess that is a pause. Hey, I'm in on both. I think both of them gonna have long, strong, lustrous careers.
Fair enough.
Moving on to the last quick hit of the segment before we revisit 2006. Your man Lil Jon gets a brand new HGTV show. I had a question for you based off that. What rapper needs their own show, and what type of show would it be?
First of all, I'm here for damn near anything on HGTV, so I will be checking out this Lil Jon.
HGTV fired.
Whatever he got cracking, I'm gonna at least check it out to see what it's hitting on, because he's actually entertaining in the TV realm. He bodied Celebrity Apprentice back in the day, if y'all remember that. He did a real good job on that. Several rappers need their own show. The question is, what type of show would it be? And so you take somebody like a Vince Staples or a Cameron, who are entertaining personalities. I think you give Cameron something where he's doing like Odd Jobs or something of that nature, and that should be dumb funny, or he's going to like, I think Cam in different countries, like traveling would be hella funny, like in odd ass situations like that. Like that would be really funny. I need Cam or Vince Staples in some type of TV show, not together, I'm saying on a separate tip, because they're entertaining as shit to me. And hella rappers have done this. You know, Action Bronson got some cooking shit.
That's delicious.
Yeah, fucks That's Delicious. Ludacris has a cooking show.
No way.
Yeah, tough. It's on Discovery Plus. Yes, I have a subscription to Discovery Plus.
Yeah, I got that too for the Undercover Billionaire and the HGTV and the Food Network.
All of that.
Facts. Mine would be similar. I guess we were thinking the same thing here with the cooking thing, but I think I can't even remember the white girl name that does this, but I would love to see a rap version of it. And it's like she can't cook, so she has these top chefs come in and they like cook a meal with her. They show her how to cook and shit. I feel like if Rick Ross did that, like just Rick Ross and how he carries himself and how funny he is with the one-liners. He had different top chefs come in and teach him how to cook different courses, have him like do the same meal that they do. I feel like that'll be absolute flames. Rick Ross is super funny, and he has the right like build and persona to be on a cooking show, especially where he's trying to cook. So I feel like we teach Rick Ross how to cook, or chefs teach Rick Ross how to cook, whatever you want to call it, would be absolute flames. HGTV, get at me.
Yeah, because he gonna sauce it up. He gonna make it extra dramatic.
What? Nah, can you picture the slow-mo food pictures with Ross going over here?
That's gonna be fun.
Add that lemon pepper on.
But what's crazy is that's Ludacris's cooking show. He can't cook.
So really?
Top chefs in Atlanta, and they're showing them how to make the food and shit. Nice. So that's actually his concept. It's just Ludacris. It's not Rick Ross, though.
It's not. So it's just not interesting. It's Ludacris.
Luda kind of funny, and he had funny skits.
I have to see some of those Furious 7s, and one of them that seen the preview for Furious 9. It looked ridiculously outrageous and unbelievable, so I'm not going to be checking it out. But you did tell me
Furious, nigga.
Yeah, you did tell me the other ones were pretty good, so I may look at them during a quarantine watch.
Yeah, don't sleep on Fast. It's mindless entertainment, man. Like, but they are good though. Believe it or not. Like
the Marvel movies, mindless entertainment.
No, nigga, Marvel movies are masterpieces.
No depth to that shit.
That shit is fucking amazing, is what that is.
No way.
Hey man, 2006, we're hopping in the time machine, guys. 15 years in the past. 2006, we got a little cheat sheet here of a couple of debut albums that drop, a couple of A-list albums, and a couple of notable albums that came out. Real quick, too, don't forget, man, OndeckTV on Instagram. Let us know which rapper deserves a TV show, because I want y'all opinion, man. Also, go to Facebook, too, in the rap chat. I know we're going to have some good suggestions in there, but let us know who or what rapper and what type of show you need to see them on. I need answers to that. But 2006, I feel like rap in 2006 was in a tricky place, though. Like, we're going to get to some of these drops, but to kind of spoil one of them, Nas dropped Hip Hop Is Dead and had a lot of people actually believing and feeding into that. And so this was right off the heels of ringtone rap, like auto-tune shit was getting real tricky right through this gap right here, dude. People thought rap was on its last. They thought this was going to be the Y2K year for rap, dude. They thought it was dead, like real shit. Do you remember in 06 kind of where you were, even just looking at this list and seeing what was popping?
First of all, Nas was hating. When he came out and he said that hip hop was dead. But yeah, I do remember. Indirectly, it was a Southern jab, not just the people like, Jeezy and Rick Ross who were coming of age, the dope boy rap. That's what Nas was pointing at when he said hip hop is dead. And the ringtone stuff, like you said, the rap from the South was starting to expand. You didn't have to just be a lyricist to be a popular rapper at this point in time. And a lot of the lyricists that were popular rappers didn't know how to take that. I think if we look back now on it, it was a growth period for hip hop as far as just expanding the sound and getting to the huge place that we are now in 2021. Then it was hip hop was still at a place where people, the traditionalists, were looking at ringtone rap, trap rap, all of those things. Like, what is this? No, rap is supposed to sound this way. And what the new generation said was, no, it can sound this way too, because we're expressing ourselves the same way. So I do remember kind of being at the same crossroads as a hip hop fan, like still having love for the Jay-Z, still having love for the old guard and the people where bars meant so much, but also loving the new shit, the Mike Jones and the Jeezys and the Roccos and the Rick Rosses before he became the Rick Rosses full of lyrics today that we know. Like, all of those people, I feel like was a proper representation of the South at that time period, and I was loving it. Where'd you stand?
Yeah, I'm not. No, listen, I thought hip hop was in an interesting place, because even when you go back and look at this list, one classic maybe this year, maybe. Like it was a tough spot because some artists were falling off. Like 50 was falling off. G Unit was on this super duper last leg. Jay was making his comeback. He had retired.
Dipset was going down.
There was no Kanye this year. You know what I'm saying? Like this Nas album was okay. Like it was just, I don't know who the big Nelly was done. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just, Eminem had fallen off. Like, so Snoop was getting old. You know what I mean?
Don't do that though. Don't act like you don't know who was running shit.
Who was running shit?
Wayne. It was mixtape era. This was mixtape.
He didn't drop no solo joint this year. He dropped
Dedication. The Dedication mixtape came out this year, I think. Dedication 2.
Okay. I forgot
like the best album that came out was a mixtape at Dedication 2. That was the best piece of artwork that came out that year. This was when Wayne, to put it in perspective though, you're right about everything that you were saying, but it was just so lucrative in the mixtape field. Like Wayne had made that full transition to the Wayne that we know now, like the fucking rock star. But from a rap standpoint, he was the best nigga doing it at this point, because Jay was out the loop. Like, it wasn't nobody better than Lil Wayne in this period of time.
I agree. And I ran that Dedication 2 back this weekend, and it is so much heat on there. Like, I don't know when the last time you may have came across it, but man, please revisit that. You're gonna be like, God.
He was rapping his ass off, boy. He was like a Martian for real.
But let's get to some of these drops, man. There was some new schoolers. I want to talk debut albums first. That kind of puts us in kind of paints a picture of who was on the come up at this time. 2006, we had DJ Khaled's first album, Listen. Had a banger on there. That's when he had Akon on every song, or T-Pain on every big record. That was around that time. Lupe Fiasco, Food and Liquor, which is damn near, that might be a
Yeah, I'm
classic.
gonna say this got to be the classic you're talking about for this shit.
Because that shit is phenomenal. That shit sound good today. No bullshit.
Facts. Lupe a beast, man.
Yeah, that fire. Like you said, Rick Ross Port of Miami. He kicked the doors in. I know you're not the biggest fan of that album, but he gained a lot of fans with that project, though.
Yeah, that song, the Every Day I'm Hustling song was perfect. Like he could have retired off that. Glad he didn't. Glad he did not. Happy to have the long career that Rick Ross had. But again, when this album came out, I was more of a Jeezy fan, and this was, and we can talk about this later because I was reading articles about 2006. And this was a time where he sounded too much like Jeezy to like it. Like I thought he was just a Jeezy.
Did he sound like Jeezy though, or was he just kind of in the same lane?
It was like he was like a Jeezy knockoff back then. Like if you weren't familiar with Rick Ross, and that was it wasn't, and I agreed it was from a perspective of not doing a lot of looking for him and just hearing him passing,
right,
and hearing shit like, man, is that Jeezy? I don't know, that ain't Jeezy, that's the other dude. Stop. And I ain't saying that to knock him at all. This is just before I knew about it.
Yeah, there was a couple of other debut albums. Young Jock, New Jock City. I wasn't never checking for that though. But
Young Jock was a. This is one of the niggas when they were talking about why hip hop was dead. This is one of the niggas that Nas was talking about. He was 1,000,000% talking about this nigga.
He had a big, that going down was huge though.
It was huge, but and again, this was what like niggas like Nas wasn't making is going down. Like they like me being one of the number one rappers in the game. I can't make a song like that, and that's the hottest song in the rap game. That was mind-boggling to niggas like Nas and Nori and all of them niggas.
Yeah, Nas wasn't fucking with that. He probably, his skin probably crawled whenever that shit got played, dude. Pharrell's first album in my mind was dropped this year too, which is actually a sleeper. That's a sleeper project.
Is it?
Yeah, I knew you was gonna hate on it. I had a feeling you was gonna hate on that.
You a Pharrell fan though. You like the nerd album.
Who is it?
You like the nerd album. I'm saying all you like 1,000,000% entrenched in Pharrell. This ain't a banger for somebody like passerby.
Yeah, but it was good though, because he do the singing and rapping and shit, and so that's what made it fire though. And he had the hit with Gwen Stefani. That shit was hard too.
Yeah, Pharrell was still a little weird right here.
And then Remy Ma's debut album, a lot of people forgot about that. A lot of people slept on that. She ended up getting locked up, so didn't really kind of promote this like she wanted to. But I know a lot. My gal loves that album for some reason. I was
the
like,
Remy Ma album?
Yeah, I was like,
no way.
That's cool. Yeah, she loved that shit. Don't do Remy Ma any kind of way like she can't rap though.
No, I just can't picture your wife listening to Remy Ma's like first album. I just don't. I know that existed.
Anybody listening to Remy Ma first album,
except Fat Joe and Papoose. Like,
yeah, that's it.
Like that's where I seen the extent of that going. No,
there were some A-listers that dropped though, man. What were some of the big dogs?
Some of the big dogs that dropped, man. As soon as I put the list up, you asked me this. A-listers, your man Jay-Z dropped his worst album of his career this year, Kingdom Come.
Yeah, boy, that was his comeback album too. That's what people got to understand. Okay, because we had this argument in the group chat all the time. Man, he's got albums worse than this. But, bro, this came off the heels of the Black album, which was fucking phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And, nigga, he talking about you coming back? Nigga, we thinking he come back to win a ring, bro. Yeah, and you don't even make the playoffs with this, bro.
We thought Blueprint was coming back out. And to be clear, to be very clear, saying this is Jay-Z's worst album is not a slight.
Exactly.
This is not a like, oh, this is trash. I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm just saying of the stellar albums that Jay-Z has, this is the worst one.
That's it. Last place.
That's it. That's all. His 10th album may be better than some niggas' first album. I will admit that, or best album, but it's still 10th on his list. And one of my favorites, Jay-Z songs is on there. The one with John Legend. That Places.
Oh yeah, that's that shit.
Come on, man. Listen,
man. It's some heat on there. That's what I'm saying. It's some heat on there. But if niggas sit here with a straight face and say they weren't let down when they first heard this, they're fucking lying. You're lying. Everybody in the world was let down.
You didn't want the Budweiser song for that Jay-Z album during that time period. Like you just didn't, that it wasn't what you were looking for during that time period from Jay-Z. You could go back now and listen to it, and it sounds great to be Jay-Z. But in 2006, it wasn't what you wanted from Hov.
And that was a business play, and he was early on it.
Yeah, it was a big dog out. Yeah, everything. It makes all the sense in the world. It's just the worst Jay-Z album. That's it.
Jay-Z will tell you that.
Facts. Next, we had my man, the Snowman, with the Inspiration 102.
Is that what this was? 102?
Thug Inspiration 102, wasn't it?
Thug Motivation. But yeah, this was some mid though.
Thug Motivation was 101.
And then he did
Thug Inspiration was 102.
That did it. Now I gotta look it up.
I think.
You call yourself a Jeezy fan?
This was hard to stay in the mix. His mixtapes during this time were way better than his album, but 102.
Thug Motivation 102 to Inspiration.
Yeah, that's it.
And this was cool, but he was smelling himself a little bit too much on here. Like he had stopped rhyming and shit. Like he got a little too cocky. He went and got Timberland and went and got Big Dog produced. Like it was like, bro, chill out.
Yeah, this wasn't a real Jeezy album.
But it was cool. It wasn't a
Jeezy album though. The song with him and Tip bang, and then I Got Money still ride to this day.
Now, that is that shit.
We got Nas Hip Hop Is Dead album. Was this the original? This was a nigga album?
No.
This wasn't the Untitled album.
He changed the nigga album to Untitled.
Oh, okay.
But this album was cool though. This is with him and Jay, Black Republican. Him and Kanye, Still Dreaming, which is fire.
Man, that is fire.
And the song with him and Game too was dope as well. So this had some shit on there. It wasn't all that, but it got some shit.
The next one that we have is my guy, Clifford Harris, with the biggest album of his career. #1 movie the same week. Let's go, Tip. Yeah, T.I.'s King.
You couldn't tell T.I. favorite?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say you couldn't tell T.I. shit when this came out. With that single, with that movie, and the album was tough, and the movie was fire. Like you couldn't tell him nothing.
This when niggas thought that T.I. was going to be Jay-Z. This is when they thought that Jay-Z, since he had retired and the Kingdom Come, whatnot, that they thought T.I. was about to be the #1 rapper in the game, and then he got locked up.
Yeah, look at this. You hate on this album for some straight.
This is my least favorite T.I. album.
Man, get the fuck out of here! Not that bullshit done put out.
I mean, of the relevant T.I., of the good T.I. albums, I just like I ain't even counting like some of them, but of the good T.I. albums. And here's the reason why, because as we always say on here, I'm a T.I. fan since I'm Serious came out.
Yo,
this album I felt like was this was them finally making T.I., because around this time you had to worry about your favorite artist selling out, quote unquote, is what they called it then. When they would switch up their style a little bit to be more commercial, to be more appealing. It doesn't happen a lot nowadays because you can be grimier and mainstream. That's more pop nowadays. But in this era, this time period, this was a transition that I was uneasy with as an original T.I. fan. Like the records were too big. I didn't feel like this fit T.I., the T.I. that I liked and loved. But it's a great album, especially going back and listen to it. He's rapping his ass off. But it's not, to me, it ain't I'm Serious. It ain't trap music, and it definitely ain't urban legend.
Top back?
Yeah.
Front back with UGK?
Yeah.
Live in the Sky? What you know?
Live in the Sky banging, dog. I live in the sky banging.
That Live in the Sky banging.
Jamie Foxx bodied that. And to appreciate Jamie Foxx's body in that, you got to go back to the Leak mixtape and listen to T.I. sing the hook. There is a version of that song out on the Leak mixtape where T.I. is singing the Jamie Foxx part. And it ain't bad, but it ain't Jamie Foxx.
That must have just been a reference track, dude.
Did you hear? Have you heard? You remember?
No,
that?
I haven't. I'm not familiar. That was a jewel you just dropped.
The Leak is on it's on all streaming sites now. But go back and listen to the Leak. That song is on there and T.I. is singing the hook.
Good Life and Hello on this album was stupid.
Album banging. I mean, of course, I appreciate it a lot more now than I did then, because I told you what the mindset was. I didn't want my favorite rapper to be the person that they was parading around as a pop artist at that point in time, which was what you had to worry about as a rap fan, then not so much now. So that was my gripe with it. Going back and listen to it now, what you know, man, come on.
Yeah, that shit. That was an anthem, dog. I can't even lie. That was a moment.
Next, we got Snoop, that Blue Carpet Treatment. Don't sleep on this Snoop album right here, though. Don't sleep on this.
It was cool. I fuck with it. I fuck with this.
This one had the Akon. You were whining and grinding on
That
top
song was
of that
just a
pole.
little cool.
That was that one.
That's
That was a hit. That's a top 10 Snoop song.
stop, bro.
Easy. That's a top 10 Snoop
I
song.
wanna love you.
Yeah, that one. Absolutely. I don't know how you slid this game in here for A-list for Doctor's Advocate. What was this game? Third album?
Third or fourth? No, Game had left G Unit and he was standing on his own too. He was doing more than anybody else that tried to leave G Unit, so I can't do that. And he was still fucking with Dre, kind of, sort of.
Nobody else tried to leave G Unit.
I mean, we saw what happened. We saw what happened when 50 cut the lights off, cut the water off on niggas. They fell off the planet when the Game was still putting out solid music. And this is a solid album. It's solid.
Well, it's because the Game was the most talented person in G Unit, including 50.
Now, if you let 50 tell, it. He responsible for half of that debut album, though.
That's cool, but Game's still putting out Game's still putting out good music today. Nobody else in G Unit can say that. So he's clearly the best rapper and the best artist that was in the 50. That little claim to fame like in 2005 is cool, bro. But Game put out a banging album within the last 2 years, my nigga.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And lastly, for A-list albums for 2006, we got the Lil Wayne and Birdman Like Father Like Son,
which is banging.
Yes,
this
the last Birdman sauce he was able to squeeze out. This did it right here. This took everything he had. This was his Kobe 60-point game, torn ACL. Nigga, this was it, dude. This was it for Birdman.
This was Birdman last hoorah.
It was a rap out to this.
Anything relevant on a song, dude.
Yeah, it was a rap out to this. Whoever was writing this, if it was Gilly, if it was Wayne, if it was Juvie, whoever, like this album is banging. Way better than you remember it being, I promise.
Now, this is banging. I fuck with this. I like how you try to skip Ludacris release Therapy. So disrespectful. Dude.
And I didn't even do that purposely. It's just like the universe.
No,
you had it up here for A-list. That's why you had it up here for A-list.
This is the one that got War with God on it.
It's the best song Ludacris ever did. Easy.
I gotta ask Luda who he was talking about on there though.
T.I. So stay off the TIP of my dick. Well, no, that ain't on that song. No,
you completely
who like the song saying shut the fuck up.
But what song was he talking about?
Talking about bring them out. Bring them out. Keep all of that talking that you talking about. Either bring them out or shut the fuck up. Telling you. That's Ludacris' best song. That shit banging. Your time has come.
Is that one?
That nigga said I can put 3 of your houses in my daughter room. That was his best bar.
A couple notable albums that dropped. Outkast's last project, man, Idlewild soundtrack came out. This wasn't nothing though.
Nah, it wasn't. But starting notable albums list with Tupac and Outkast is nuts.
Yeah, those are two of the biggest rap acts of all time, motherfucking. Yeah. They were their last project. Tupac's Pac's Life. That was his last album too.
They should have been A-list, both of them. Even though they suck, they should have been A-list albums.
And quite as kept, that Idlewild movie is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. That shit is trash.
I never watched that in completion. Yeah, I cut that off. 15, 20 minutes in easy.
Yeah, no, I ain't seen the whole because it's a musical and I can't really do musicals like that.
Would you do a hip hop musical now? You think they could do that good?
It wasn't. Yeah. What's the nigga fucking Hamilton? Are you talking about some bullshit like that?
No, I'm talking about a real hip hop music. I ain't talking about this shit. Shout out to the Hamilton and all the people that made that. You wouldn't fuck with. I think they could make that good. Like, what if they had real artists in there? Like, what if like the Baby was in there? Nah. What if it was like the Baby and Meg Thee Stallion had a full on script and everything? Like, it was like a play.
Like Beyonce, the Carmen.
Yeah, that's it. That was on Cameron. What was the name of it? Carmen.
Hip hop opera or some shit.
Yeah, that.
Nah, I ain't watch that bullshit either though.
I would look at that. I think I'd check that out.
Skip. What else? Busta Rhymes' Big Bang album. This is the one that when he signed to Dre for one album. This had them beats though, and I can't stand Busta Rhymes, but the production on here is amazing.
I don't believe that.
Shout out to Dr. Dre.
I know I've never heard this album.
It's the production's stupid though. Like with some good headphones on, this shit sound crazy, real talk. But he garbage though.
There's no setting that I'm listening to this album. There's no setting on earth that I'm listening to a Busta Rhymes. The Big Bang album is not doing it, bro. Nothing.
Cameron Killer Season.
It was over. This is when Jim Jones was taking over Dipset, and it was like, because Killer Season wasn't where it needed to be. It was highly anticipated by people that were still fucking with Dipset, but this Hustler's Pony that came out the same year was far superior as far as music.
Killer Season fucked up.
That Hustler's Pony is damn near a classic.
That Get 'Em Daddy remix. Bob Barker, Randy Savage, Bob Backlund. Oh man, he ripping that.
Purple Haze is better than this, right?
No, I like this better than Purple Haze. And
you like Killer Season better than Purple Haze?
I do.
That's nuts.
Because this got the Jay-Z diss song on it with Max B. You gotta love it the way we get this. That shit was hard. That shit slaps today, nigga.
It does, but it ain't better than
like I don't know.
What though?
Purple Haze ain't got nothing on there.
Oh, I thought you said Hustler's Poem. No,
Hustler's Poem is fire. That's a good Jim Jones album.
That's a classic Jim Jones album.
That's a
balling on there. Yeah, balling on there, dude.
Jim Jones album.
Top 20 hip hop song ever.
What's that?
Ballin'?
That's what this. Oh, Ballin' was on this.
Ballin' was on Hustler's Poem. Yeah.
I wish I was cool with Jim Jones and I could ask him, hey, how much you make off Ballin' right now? I'm just on some curious shit. I want to know. I'm just kidding because that was a smash.
Do you think he owned the? Did you listen to him on Earn Your Leisure?
I didn't.
Listen, that's a pretty good episode. I'm not sure if I don't think he owns.
You don't think he got his paperwork like not?
You know what? No, I'm talking about for that particular song because of the point in time of his career. Now it sounds like he owned his business shit A1. Some of the stuff that he was talking about on Earn Your Leisure, but I'm not sure like. That, like you said, that is a smash.
I think Max B wrote that hook too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that was part of the beef that they fell out about.
Yeah. Clips, Hell Have No Fury.
I'm out on this.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't a big Clips fan. I wasn't I'm not a big Clip. I love Pusha T. I'm just that the beats never did it for me. I wasn't that like
the production was questionable on here. It was questionable.
Like just didn't do it for me.
Fat Joe, Me, Myself, and I. Oh yeah. Oh Joe.
Hey, it was just a good album. Fat Joe will gonna always give you a good album though. Like it's just a typical Fat Joe album.
He's not gonna take many risks.
Yeah, it shouldn't be noted on here, but I don't even know why we're talking about it. But it was a typical fly by night for that Joe album.
I spoke about the downside or the downslide of G Unit. Lloyd Banks' Rotten Apple came out, and
it was all the way over by then.
That was done, and Mobb Deep's G Unit album came out this year too, Blood Money, which was also trash. Trash.
Yeah, that's Mobb Deep album isn't though.
Puff Daddy, Press Play.
Press Play was banging though.
Man, get the fuck out.
That Press Play was banging. I'm telling you, go back and listen to that Press Play.
Man,
it was banging.
Oh no.
Is that the one where he on the front with the shades on and shit?
Yes,
look like Miami Vice?
Commercial, dude.
Banging.
What?
Banging.
I know what's on there, bro. I ain't bullshitting you.
I think I do. Ain't that the one with what's the lead single on there?
The lead single was "Come to Me."
When he doing the auto tune shit on here?
Oh, that's my last night.
Yeah, that right there with Keisha Cole.
I thought that was on Dirty Money. That might have been on here.
Well, if I'm thinking about Dirty Money, then Dirty Money was banging. I thought that was this album, though.
No, neither one of those were banging.
Dirty Money was banging. Ain't that the one that had Ross on there when Ross was ripping it?
Oh, Angels. That's Dirty Money. That's on banging, though.
Facts.
But last night was on this Press Play. That's crazy.
Was Keisha Cole last year. I'm looking at a list right here, the top songs for 2006. Tell me what you think the number one song was.
It wasn't Ballin'?
No, this is a boom bap list. Now that I'm looking at it.
What was
it has Lupe Fiasco and Jill Scott's Daydreaming.
That's my shit right there, though.
Number one song, though?
It's not number one song at all. That's just
Nas and Chris said Michelle, Can't Forget About You.
That's banging too.
That Game and Nas song, Why You Hate Me.
That's banging too.
T.I.'s What You Know. Kick Push should be the number one song of this year.
No, Ballin' should be the number one song of this year. Even though I fuck with Kick Push and it was big.
That's a tie.
However,
that's a tie. Kick Push and Ballin' a tie. Kick Push is a classic.
They're not playing that shit in the club, dude.
Yeah, that's not the extent of hip hop either. The club, nigga, it goes way beyond that. That's why it's a classic. That's why, like, you could Kick Push playing on that Jonah Hill Welcome to the 90s doc or whatever the fuck show he did. That's what that Kick Push is playing on. That shit's a classic.
Oh shit! Hey, y'all need to run that Lupe back though. Real talk, that shit is fire. Oh, a couple of mixtapes though, like you said.
Real quick before you get to that.
Okay.
There was I was reading allhiphop.com as far as reviewing 2006. A couple of trends that they wanted to see dying from 2006 going into 2007. You want to read these trends, or you want to read those mixtapes first?
Yeah, now go with the trends. What is it?
Right. The first one is drug dealer rap. Every simile and metaphor for pitching, serving, flying, weighing, bagging, block hugging has been used. They're veterans, and we respect a sea of new jacks that have the hip hop saying, "We don't believe you. We need more people." That's crazy. That was the first one that I seen. Next one was the minstrel rap, prepackaged dance, going to the snap rap and the ringtone stuff that you were talking about.
Yep.
Album leaks. Albums used to leak. They reference Lupe's album, that Jeezy album that leaked a long time before it came out, and Jay-Z's album. And here's the last one that I thought was interesting: the pre-album beef. Jeezy and Nas, Jim Jones and Jay-Z, the Clips and Lil Wayne. It seemed everybody wanted an opponent going into the first week sales. None of this has changed.
Yeah, no.
None of this has changed 15 years later. That's crazy.
Everything you listed still occurs to this day.
Actually, they're probably telling you to do more of it at the label now, as opposed to cut this shit out.
That's crazy. It's just only a couple of mixtapes, man. Wayne Dedication 2 was easily the top mixtape for this year.
Music thing of this year.
Man, Fab, Loso's Way, Rise to Power. If I remember correctly, that was pretty good. Don't ask me to remember specific songs, though, because it's been a long time. Clips, We Got It for Cheap, Volume 2. This kept the lights on for Pusha T. The mixtapes did, that is. And that's about it. Oh, Jeezy Can't Ban the Snowman came out this year, too, with DJ Drama.
I was banging. That intro was banging. I'm back, Mr. Magic City. Yes. That's when Jeezy was in his bag. He didn't have to rhyme on that, like you said. He wasn't rhyming or nothing.
Never heard it. We got wins and losses. But first, tell us what y'all's favorite album from 2006 was, man. Leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube. Number one, appreciate you. Number two, leave a comment, man, your favorite album from 2006. Let's get to some wins and some losses. We got a W to your boy Method Man. His production company is putting out How High 3 coming soon. Good look for Method Man. Get them checks behind the board. I like it. Absolutely, man. I like what Method Man is maturing into in his hip-hop career. He had been quiet for a while, but he back full effect. I like it. Are you going to check out How High 3? Absolutely not. I didn't know there was a How High 2. Yeah, with Lil Yachty and DC Young Fly, and it looked terrible. Oh, no. I don't even think I've seen How High 1. What? Yeah, I don't think I've seen that. Only bits and pieces. You tripping with no map, nigga. How High 1 is funny. Well, it was. I don't know if it hold up, but it was funny. Is that what Dave Chappelle and he had the powder? The pimp hand? Is that what that is? Nah, you thinking about I can't remember. I can't remember if that was in there. I don't think Dave Chappelle was in How High. You talking about Half Baked? Half Baked, yeah. When he had the pimp hand where he put the powder in his hand, he was smacked. That sounds like a Chappelle skit, nigga. Nah, that was on a movie. I can't remember which one it was, though. I don't know. We gave How High just a whole lot of time right there that it really didn't. Somebody is yelling at they device right now, like, nigga, that's this movie. Yeah, that's a fact. We got another W to J. Cole. His newest album hit number 1. It's his 6th in a row. He currently holds that record until Drake comes out in a couple of weeks, and then he'll have the most number 1s in a row. So shout out to J. Cole for this, I don't know, 1 month win that he's about to have. Shout out to him. He put out that deluxe joint the same day Drake do. And won't knock him off for it. Put that deluxe joint out with the Drake feature the same day. These Cole basketball highlights be so funny to me, though. Y'all hating on Cole, man. Man out there living his dreams. So slow. Man. He out there living his dreams, man. Hey, did you see when the basketball player, they asked the basketball player dude about him? He was like, man, he took somebody's spot. Come on. Who? Who? He's one of the best players in that league.
The guy's spot he took, or the guy
No,
said he took somebody's spot.
the guy that said
fair.
that.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you're popular, successful, and you do what you want to do, dude. Like
it's
that's
a
on that
trade-off
guy
though.
The
Because
100.
those games are getting played on ESPN where they otherwise probably wouldn't.
Right.
So
I mean, J. Cole wants to play basketball. I don't get what the other guy's saying. Why don't you give up your spot for him, then, man?
He was saying that J. Cole was average and there's other people better than him that could have took his spot.
Yeah, so he should give up his spot then. Why don't you give up your spot, man?
This is his livelihood. He's saying J. Cole already has a job. He took somebody's spot where this is their job. And they weren't eating in the pandemic.
I mean, that's tough luck, man. It's life, dude. I don't know what that guy wants people to do. Like, I don't understand why. I don't understand. And you can have a gripe with J. Cole all you want to. I mean, he's still doing it. Like, you put that. I don't think you put the onus of that on J. Cole. Like, if you want to get that political about it, then you talk to the team owners. You talk to the people who make the decisions of marketing and the people that make all. Like, you can't put that on J. Cole and be like, "Hey, bro, you took a nigga spot." Like, man, come on, bro. Like, if Jake, for all we know, they called J. Cole. They knew he was trying to get in the league, and they were like, "Well, shit, come over here and play with us and get us his pub." We don't know that J. Cole was looking for that spot. Like, get out of here. So.
That's true. We got an L to Joe Budden. Seems like these L's are stacking for old Budden. He reportedly lost about $600,000 in endorsements from Cash App after his accusation of sexual misconduct from his former employee, I guess, if you want to call her that. Very interesting, man. Big L, $600,000 L. Yikes.
Yeah, that's a big L when you're independent, man. I hope the best works out for Joe. He handled this very well, in my opinion, on his latest podcast, as far as the apology for it and the apology about being a bad leader for everything that transpired with his show. So I think that was commendable to come out and do on that platform and not run from it or not try to just avoid it, but meeting the head on it, do it. I think that was dope.
I wonder what kind of deal he had with Cash App, though, and Cash App giving $600,000 a year deals? That's nuts.
Yeah. Early during the pandemic, he had a deal with them. From his show, he was saying it was like a contest. It was like he was just sending people money that needed it during the pandemic and would do it through Cash App. So that was one way that he was promoting it. And then they would talk about it at the beginning of the show. So it's like a sponsorship deal for them to mention it. They mentioned it before every show.
Okay.
All of that associated with the network, I guess Cash App was like, you know what? No.
Wait, hold on. Joe Budden has a show? That's crazy. I know that. Last but not least, man, bonus W to Trader Truth. He won the Billboard Changemaker Award. It was dope to see Trader Truth getting some love on Billboard, man. Good looking.
Absolutely, man. Anybody that knows Trey knows he does his thing for the community in Houston. He's 10 toes down as far as being hands-on and what he does. So it's nice to see Billboard recognizing that, man. That was really dope.
He don't need to rap again, and that's even better.
What?
He don't need to rap.
Like, come on, man. Trader Truth is a legend, man. A legend.
Musically?
Just period. I don't try to throw He's a legend. He's a Houston legend.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a legend.
I'm just talking about the records, though. We cool on the records.
These niggas that love Trader Truth, like down in that, what is it, the Gulf area, Louisiana, Monroe, Alabama, Texas, a little stretch through there.
I ain't know that.
Absolutely, man. Say favorite rapper.
Shout out to
you
Trader
remember
Truth.
Nate? You remember my homeboy Nate?
I do.
Trader Truth was his favorite rapper.
He
was from Monroe, Louisiana. It was his favorite rapper. He would compare that nigga to anybody. Anybody. This when Big Crit was out when we used to be real cool. The nigga was like, he better than Crit. It's like, nigga, who?
That's nuts.
It was his favorite rapper. That's crazy.
On Decker of the Week, man, we are going to YouTube. Shout out to Maurice Hunt. He left a comment on our episode that we did 2 weeks ago with the One Album Wonders. He said, because we asked, give us some One Album Wonders that we left out. Mm-hmm. He said NWA, Lauryn Hill, and 50 Cent.
50 Cent, wow.
I saw that a couple times, actually. People don't fuck with that Massacre like that. They said it was too commercial and too long.
That's nuts. That
Massacre banging, though. Y'all tripping. Like, it's banging. It just need about banging. It need about 4 less songs.
Yeah, that Gap Man and Robin and shit like that, you can just cut that out.
I actually like that song, though.
That's some slaw.
Gap Man.
Trash bag.
But shout out to Maurice
Trash.
Hunt, man, for the comment, man. When y'all hop on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button and comment, man. Chat with us for real, for real.
Absolutely. Rate, subscribe, like, and go to the Patreon and check everything out over there as well. What are you putting us on this week, sir?
Man, I'm going straight to TV. You already know what it is. If you follow me on IG, you saw me post this in the stories. Make sure if you have HBO Max, nigga, if you don't have it, get the free trial, motherfucking run this goddamn Mayor of Easttown. Run these 7 episodes. Right now it's on episode 6. You got time before the finale comes on Sunday. It's fire. If you are into that whodunit, night of undoing, Big Little Lies type vibe, then this is your shit. This is your scene right here. It's fire. Kate Winslet is bodying this shit, and it's a very, very dope whodunit, in my opinion. I would check that out. I'm putting y'all on that for sure. Got to give it up to M Extra. He the one threw this in the chat. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even check for it.
That is a fact, because I seen the preview and I was like, I'm not going to watch that.
Exactly.
But I watched it. Suggestion of him extra. He 2 for 2 on the TV lately with this startup. The startup.
Yeah, that was good too.
That's true. And this is good. This is one of those shows, man. You watch it, you may go into it skeptical if somebody suggested, and by the end of the episode, you're like, oh, okay, I'm locked in. That's all it take. The end of the first episode, you running all 6 of those before you know it is 6 hours later. So definitely check that Mar of Easttown out, man. That shit is great. I'm going to the podcast world for my suggestion, man. If you don't get to check out Drink Champs because every guest doesn't appeal to you, and you see Trinidad James' name under the last episode, and you're like, I'm definitely not listening to that, reconsider. That is a good episode. Trinidad James got to shed a lot of light on his career and the stuff, any controversy surrounding it. One of the most interesting conversations that I got from it, he was talking about that Gold All in My Watch song and how T.I. and Jeezy hopped on there.
Yep.
And they just hopped on, without getting with him or anything. So he didn't pay for the verse or anything like that. And he said it was cool, but he said he really didn't ask for it. And when they came and shot the video, he was an independent artist. And when they wrote their thing for the video, they charged him either $25,000 a piece or $50,000 total for their wardrobe. And he said he was hot about that because T.I. had on Hustle Gang shit and Jeezy had on a Dickie outfit. He said, so he was salty about that, but also he said he didn't pay them for their verses.
Gotcha.
So like it's a really good, it's good perspective to listen to how he was thinking about it and then how he came to the conclusion about it. It was really good as far as that perspective on it, because I never even realized that he didn't pay them or they just hopped on it. But that was a time that people just hopped on songs and put it out on the mixtapes like we were talking about. So really good interview with Drink Champs and Trinidad James. How my guy Sam G, man, he put me on that the other day. TN Air Sam.
Hey, funny Trinidad James story when we got it here. We moved out here in 2010, and we went to go to the Underground. It was a shoe store in the Underground. Well, actually, no, excuse me. It was a clothing store in the Underground.
He talked about this on there.
Yeah, it was. Oh, he did. Yeah, it was a guy working in there, and the only reason I remember this was probably about 2011, is because he had on the Concord 11s that I had missed out on, and he had them, and they were dumb crispy, and he had an afro and had really weird looking clothes on. He was working there, and shout out to my guy Plaza. He was in there trying to get some fitteds, and we was talking to him trying to find out when the fitteds was coming. Excuse me, when the snapbacks was coming in, and he was looking for a specific one. And next thing you know it, about a year later, this gold all on my wrist comes out, and it's the same dude who was in there working, who had on the Concords and the funny ass outfit with the afro. So I was tripping off that, and that's how it is in Atlanta, and that's why so many people are in the music industry and they work hard, because one day somebody could be working at the store that you just went to and you can look up and they're on BET and shit is crazy. And I was like, oh shit, that's dude from the store. Shit was wild. So me and Trump always trip off of that, man. But shout out to Trinidad James. I might check it out.
And he talked about working down there too, and how he said there was the perfect spot, and people in Atlanta are familiar with the spot know him explaining. He was like, there was a perfect spot for him to be in the culture. He's like, I had the school kids coming because like the HBCU was right there. I had the hood people coming from Peter Street. I had the business people coming from like all the downtown businesses in Atlanta. So I was tapped in with everybody. So that's the reason I dressed like this and carry myself the way I did, because I was just exposed to so many different types of people, and that's what helped me be the artist. It was really good, man. I fuck with Trinidad James.
I'm going to check it out, man. Hey, make sure you guys go to youtube.com/realville, man. Check out all of the podcasts that we have on the network. Go to patreon.com/realville. It is the 28th year anniversary for Menace to Society. And so you guys hopped on and revisited Menace. That is going to be live when you hear this on Patreon. Make sure y'all go check that out. Shout out to M Extra U, Sean Wash. Super dope episode.
S. Wash, get it right.
Oh, my bad. S. Wash. My bad. I don't want to
branding that. Yeah, he working on the branding and everything for that now. So we got to make sure we get that S. Wash right. But yeah, man, we had a good time reviewing that, man. It was really fun tapping back into the Menace to Society, man. Some great questions were asked around that movie and seeing it at such an early age, man. I had a fun time with that.
How'd that liquor store, corner store scene hold up in 2021?
Ooh, it's rough, man. It's rough rewatching that, man. Cause I to give a little spoiler alert for the episode, man. When you watch, I seen Menace to Society when I was 11. I went to the theater to see it.
Yep.
And looking at it then and remembering like how I remember Old Dog and the wanting and the praise I gave him, and then looking at it now as an adult, nigga, crazy ass, ratchet ass kids. Like it's a totally different perspective, man. But we had a good conversation based around it, man. You guys check the Patreon out. That was a fun one to do, and we're gonna have fun with the rest of like those type of movies. Now I do look forward to the older perspective of looking at the Boys in the Hood, New Jack City. I think we may throw Paid in Full in there. That made a strong next four for the movie review for you guys to see and start tapping in the Patreon on.
Absolutely, man. Hit that link in the description, man, to subscribe to the Patreon. We appreciate it, man. Again, thank you for checking us out. Support The Real, and we will see y'all next week, man. We out.
Chill.